Superintendent of Education is heating up with 3 candidates now in the race. Incumbent Ellen Weaver announced her bid for re-election yesterday, joining Democratic challengers Ellis and Sylvia Wright. Wright is sounding the alarm about recent layoffs at the U.S. Department of Education and what it could mean for South Carolina. Our Megan Gagnon was there when Sylvia Wright went public with her campaign and those concerns. She joins us live now. So, Megan, what did she focus on?
Friendy, Sylvia Wright is a Democratic candidate running to be South Carolina's next superintendent. Now, a judge did temporarily pause the layoffs that Wright mentioned, but she warns that thousands of families right here in South Carolina could feel the impact if things do move forward. Now, today, Wright invited families, educators, and students who benefit from services that the Department of Education offers, and she also shared how she plans to protect disabled students statewide.
When we are included and supported, we thrive. And when we thrive, our whole state becomes a state.
At a news conference Tuesday, Donovan Sumter was one of several people who opened up about his disability and how important special education services are for his future.
These aren't distant Washington offices to us. Their work is the foundation that makes it possible for young adults like me to have a fair shot at education, a job, and the future.
So the superintendent claims promises made, promises kept, but were the students with disabilities a part of that promise?
Wright, who has been in education for more than 20 years, says federal layoffs and long-standing state funding shortfalls have left families in limbo. She is running for state education superintendent in 2026.
Over 70% of students with disabilities in 3rd through 8th grade are reading below grade level. It is time for new leadership.
According to data from the South Carolina Department of Education, nearly 112,000 students ages 3 to 21 receive special education services under the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act.
Before IDEA and the U.S. Department of Ed, my disabled child receiving an expert education just like any other kid would have been a dream, not a protected right.
That law guarantees children access to the support they need, including speech therapy, counseling, and assistive technology. Wright says the recent threat of layoffs at the U.S. Department of Education puts this at risk.
Without federal regulations and oversight, the rights of students with disabilities will no longer be enforced. It will be up to the states to make sure that students with disabilities receive a free, appropriate public education.
If elected, Wright says she will double down on staffing in the state's special education office from 6 employees to 12 and prioritize grant funding to train teachers and parents. Now, I reached out to State Education Chief Ellen Weaver's office for a comment, and a spokesperson for Weaver said this in a statement, quote, South Carolina remains unwavering in its commitment to students with disabilities and their families. There have been no changes to the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, also known as IDEA, and funding is flowing as normal to South Carolina classrooms. The dedicated employees at the South Carolina Department of Education continued their work to partner with families, strengthen services, and also provide support to help with every student reach their full potential. Now, primaries for education superintendent are set for next June, and the general election is November 3rd, 2026. In Columbia, I'm Megan Gagnon, Watch Fox News, Local First.